Hello, class. I want to give a brief introduction to the assignment that you're going to be focusing on next week. So each group will be given one class period in which I can answer questions. You will be able to work on this. But I want you to start thinking about it over the weekend. Indeed, I would encourage you to start working on it over the weekend because the first part of this is due next Friday. So let me first of all introduce what this is. So you see here that it is under its own section on Moodle called the Personal Do-Good Plan. And so I'm going to start with the rubric and the explanation. Again, I'm not going to go through this with great detail, but here's the rubric. It's always good to read the rubric carefully before you start any assignment. Read it again during the time that you're completing the assignment, and then read it before you submit, okay? But here's some rationale. So the goal of this assignment is to make you more intentional on what you do on a daily basis in terms of your actions. And not just when you feel guilty or particularly kind. And I haven't talked about this in class yet, but I make the claim that changing the world is not going to happen if we just do what comes naturally or what comes easy. So some of us are more kind by nature. Some of us are more generous by nature. And those are important things to keep doing. But what's going to change the world is when we engage in behavior that takes effort, that takes mindfulness, that's going to change our normal reactions and make us engage in even more peaceful and even more kind behavior. So that this is your opportunity to try to create like a plan, just like if you were going to say, I want to exercise more or I want to eat healthier. How would you go about doing that in a systematic way that is more likely to involve enduring behavior change? So you need to consider these questions, okay? What do you know about yourself that is relevant? So we're going to finish this section on individual psychology, personality, learning. I'm going to talk a little bit about mental health on the next video that I post for tomorrow. So what do you know about that? What motivates you? What are your values? What are the things that are going to help? What are the things that are going to hinder you? How can you use these to change and make it more likely that you're going to engage in good, doing good things? Anyway, keep on with that. The format of the paper is like this: 1 or 2 paragraphs of why you believe it is important to do good, and double space that. So you're going to start out with your rationale. Then you're going to create a plan, and each step should be clearly identified and supported by at least one psychological principle. I give you this format, and then you have a final paragraph or 2 about what's going to make it difficult, what's going to get in the way. When we create plans to change our behavior, we need to anticipate what's going to be difficult. So I go into more of information here. You can read that. This, I'm going to have to take that off. Sorry, this was something that I used to have before. So let me get out of here and go into another place. So that's where you start. Here is also a good example. Now, notice this is too short. It does not represent a perfect paper, but it gives you some starting point to help you have a grasp on what a good paper would be. Because if you read the rubric, you need 5 specific points. This person only has 2. You need 5. So this is not an A paper, but it's a good introduction here, and what they have is good. It's just not sufficient. So make sure you look at that as well. Now, we are actually going to have a 3-step process in this assignment. You're going to have your original submission completely done, and you're going to submit it next Friday by 11. I will give you some feedback, though it won't be extensive, but it's a chance for you to get some feedback. That's worth 5%. Okay. You also, Friday or Saturday, at the latest, you need to be thinking even now of a mentor, someone you trust who knows you well, who can talk to you, look at this plan and say, you know what, this is going to be tough for you, or hey, I think this would be good for you. And this is a person that should hold you accountable, someone that you would check in on. In fact, that should be part of your do good plan. Okay, so you're going to send your plan to this mentor. So by the 23rd, a week later, you're going to go in here, and it's a journal submission. You're going to click on this and indicate that you've communicated with your mentor, received feedback on your plan, and detail one way the mentor feedback helped you modify your plan. So you've got to give several sentences here to let me know that you have actually checked in with your mentor and gotten some feedback. That will be 2% of the exam of this assignment. Then the 20%, 18%. So the whole assignment is worth 25%. This is 5, this is 2%, and this is 18%. Here then, a week later, October 30th, is when you submit your final do good plan. You've revised it, you've thought about it, you've incorporated my feedback, you've incorporated your mentor feedback. So that's how this assignment is going to work. So I hope that you engage honestly with it. You be realistic. I am not looking for pie in the sky. In fact, if I think something is way too grandiose, I'm going to tell you that, and I'm going to say this is not realistic. Remember, personality doesn't change dramatically, so don't act like you're just now going to have all these good intentions and you're going to be able to change your behavior. It's going to be important that you think honestly and realistically.